Lesson 327. I need but call and you will answer me. Welcome to the Qigong support for Course in Miracles students. My name is Judith and this is the Lucid Mind Center. And the reason why this is called Qigong support is after reading and contemplating this lesson together with you, I'm going to guide you to Qigong classes which I have specially recorded for this lesson and for the special thought on what is creation. All these 10 lessons are different insights, different angles on understanding what is creation, and that we are co-creating with our Creator, and that we can call on Him, call on this source energy to come and help us create something meaningful. Let's begin reading this lesson together, and I'm going to give you more instructions at the end. Lesson 327. I need but call and you will answer me. I am not asked to take salvation on the basis of an unsupported faith. That's not what it is about. We do not want to believe in it. For God has promised He will hear me call and answer me Himself. And I told you that a few days ago. The abstract wishes, the abstract desires, the abstract intentions, they get fulfilled very fast. So you ask, please help me. It's like when sometimes I don't know what to say about the lesson. I'm like, okay, what should I say? Let me know. And then suddenly the inspiration comes. So you can do that in any situation when you are with another person. Let me but learn from my experience that this is true, because what we are after is truth. And faith in Him must surely come to me. This is the faith that will endure and take me further and still further on the road that leads to Him, to our Creator. For thus I will be sure that He has not abandoned me and loves me still, awaiting but my call to give me all the help I need to come to Him. Because if I desire it, my desire will be fulfilled. But I just have to desire it first. And maybe the desire is actually second, because first of all you need to believe that you are worthy of having that desire, because that is something which has been indoctrinated, injected into our mind, that we are not worthy talking to our Creator, that we need a priest or a guru or some kind of sorcerer, magician, healer to talk to our source. You don't need any of that. You can talk directly with your Creator. The prayer goes like this: Father, I thank you that your promises will never fail in my experience. In my experience, my human experience on this earth. If I but test them out. And that is what the Course is now telling us. It's telling us that you should test whether you should test a desire, a wish, a prayer, and then see what happens and observe the connection. Observe how things change for you. I was in the lucky situation that I had a grandmother who taught me this very early, and a mother who somehow was very powerful manifester. When she said something, that something was going to happen at a certain time or day, it would happen at a certain time or day. It was so incredibly powerful that at times I had to watch very much what she was saying. If it was somehow involving me, she was also powerful in the negative outcomes, that I had to try and block it. I had to say, no, it's not going to happen that way. And then I had to kind of make a new story up, how it actually will happen. Kind of disempowering her, very strangely. It's almost like this story where you have got the evil godmother, and then the good fairy comes afterwards and say, well, the princess is not going to die, she's only going to sleep for 100 years. That is somehow how I felt with my mother. When she came with those statements, they were like, woo, if I don't take this away, it's going to happen the way she says it. Father, I thank you that your promises will never fail in my experience, if I but test them out. Let me attempt, therefore, to try them and to judge them not. Your word is one with you. You give the means whereby conviction comes, and surety of your abiding love is gained at last. It's actually quite amazing when I'm reading this, how much I have incorporated this into my everyday, completely forgetting that maybe this is the conclusion I've had. Maybe some of them actually came from A Course in Miracles. So one, which is quite interesting, is the parking spot desire. I have told you that story before, but I will repeat you again. I used to have a big 7-seater car, and then when I would drive somewhere, I would always wish for a parking spot nearby. And that in the beginning I used to say, I just want a little tiny parking spot right in front of the entrance or nearby. So that's what I would find. I would find a tiny parking spot where it would take me about 10 minutes or 15 minutes to maneuver into it, or it would be awkward to get out of the car or something. And I was thinking, why am I wishing this crazy stuff? Shouldn't I be wishing a big parking spot where I can easily drive in and easily come out? And then I began doing that. I said, please give me a parking spot near the entrance or somewhere nearby, which is easy to come in and out. And this is how it is. Most of the time I actually find a parking spot which is easy to drive in, not far to walk. It doesn't always work. Sometimes I have to drive around longer, but these times I wasn't maybe clear in my mind. Maybe I was stressed, and sometimes something else needed to happen. I needed to meet somebody on the street right after, or something needed to happen, or the meeting was late. So me waiting for that parking spot made sure that I didn't come too early, because the other person was going to be late anyway, and that would have annoyed me. So there usually is some reason why it doesn't work for me, but normally it does. But the thing is, it would be easy then to say, oh, I am blessed by God. You know, I'm blessed by God because I am always finding the parking spot. But this is not what it is. The reason why this is working for me is because I am testing it, and then it works. So then I'm learning how the process works. Okay, if I do this with the parking spot, it works. Okay, so can I try this as well with finding a new apartment to live in? Can this also work if I'm going up to a test that I passed the test? Can this work for me finding a new client? Can it work with selling something? Is there a possibility to actually express the desire I have and fulfill other things? And then if I can fulfill those mundane things, those things which are of this world, can I actually then maybe use this for bigger things? Let me understand the Course in Miracles, or let me find peace. Let me help this person to find peace. Can I use it that way as well? So you see, it is first about understanding the mechanism between the desire and the fulfillment of the desire and the manifestation of the outcome you have desired. And one of the things which are the strongest of all, and which you maybe have to be a little bit careful with, is the wondering how it would feel. If you utter to yourself, you don't even have to say it out loud, you just have to utter it to yourself and say, I wonder how this feels. Maybe you see somebody having an accident or something, and then maybe you go to yourself and say, I wonder how it would feel to have an accident like that. Well, watch out, because you might experience exactly that. You might get an answer to that particular question. So you gotta be vigilant on your desires, because what the world is teaching you is that they are working on your wandering, on your desires, on your wishes, on your will. The aim of the Spirit is to teach you that it works. And so you can learn it the easy way, or you can learn it the hard way. But learning you must. It says here, let me attempt therefore to try them and to judge them not. Your word is one with you. You give the means whereby conviction comes, and surety of your abiding love is gained and last. So here again, it tells you got to try. You got to try to wish. You got to try to will, to desire, to play with it, to understand how it works. Like I said, for me, it was something which I always knew consciously. So somehow my grandmother must have transmitted this to me. My mother was very powerful in this transmission. I have tested it since I can think. I have tested different wishes and different forms, and I will write a book about it one day. But one of the desires which was here was to finish this book, make a Qigong class for each one of those Course in Miracles lessons. And we are almost done. If somebody would have told me that I was going to read and record a Course in Miracles lesson for every day in 2024, I would have told them, you are absolutely crazy. There's no way I'm committing to this. And yet, I've done it, and you have done it with me. And we only got about 34 lessons left. Amazing. So with this particular idea about wishes and desires and how this actually works, let's read this idea one more time before we go and meditate on it with Qigong. Lesson 327. I need but call and you will answer me. I am not asked to take salvation on the basis of unsupported faith. Nobody wants you to have just simple faith or believe. That's not what this Course in Miracles is about, as I have told you 2 days ago. For God has promised He will hear my call and answer me Himself. Let me but learn from my experience that this is true, and faith in Him must surely come to me through the experience. This is the faith that will endure and take me further and still further on the road that leads to Him, to our Creator. For thus I will be sure that He has not abandoned me and loves me still, awaiting but my call to give me all the help I need to come to Him. In the Qigong class, I'm going to ask you to read the idea and the prayer. And when I'm sending you to generic Qigong classes, the cue is going to be for you, remember your affirmation or remember your prayer or your wish. That is when you put the video on hold, read the idea, read the prayer, and then incorporate that in the rest of the class. The reason why I am doing this in the middle of the class is because first we are purging, we are letting go of negative emotions, and then we are growing the Qi, growing that life force energy, and then breathing in the idea into that breath and expanding it into our awareness. That's why Qigong is so incredibly powerful. So let's read the prayer. Father, I thank you that your promises will never fail in my experience if I but test them out. I gotta test them out. I gotta try if this is working for me. Let me attempt, therefore, to try them and to judge them not. Your word is one with you. You give the means whereby conviction comes and surety of your abiding love is gained at last. And that is so beautiful. Because if you just use this, like for my parking spot example, every time you do actually find a parking spot, you're going to go a little bit into awe, because you're going to understand that it's that Creator within you and the Creator without you who is actually teaching you how this process works. And then gratitude is going to come towards you. And when gratitude comes, you're going to experience the Creator. You're going to experience love, light. You're going to experience God. And let's do a Qigong class together now and allow this idea to spread into your awareness. So I'm suggesting this standing Qigong class for you today, this seated Qigong class. Here you have got the reading of what is creation, which you should be doing every day. And here you have got a list of all Qigong classes if you would like to do another one. Love, light and Qi to you.